Welcome to a week in my life. Hi, if you're new here, my name is Autumn. I am a reader, writer. I work full-time in a non-traditional job. I am going back to school for my master's, and this week is a little bit special and I wanted to vlog it. It's currently Monday. I worked the weekend. I start classes on Wednesday. It's a totally online program, but one of my professors has already posted all of the requirements, some of the modules, so I can already get into one of those classes, and I started that over the weekend. With today being Monday, I am off today and tomorrow, and I thought what better way to kick off the week and to show my life than to vlog this week. Because I work Sunday, I only work 2 days for the rest of the week. I thought that it would have been a really great balance of reading and writing, getting back into school, and also showing work. I do have a few fun things planned this week, in addition to all of the other 4 things that I mentioned. Not like reading and writing are not the fun things, but you know, life things that I have planned with friends. It's going to be a very exciting week. I want to give a rundown for what I'm going to be doing today. It's about 8:30 in the morning. I usually like to start my mornings like an hour ago, actually doing a lot of the things like getting up, having my hot tea. Since I worked the weekend and it was a little bit of a stressful weekend, I usually like to take Mondays a little bit slower. So that's what we're going to be doing for today. This morning is going to be pretty slow. By slow, I mean I'm going to either sit on the couch in the living room, or I'm going to sit in my office and read for a few hours. It's a great way to just reset from the weekend and reset from a really busy, rough work weekend, you know? I woke up like sneezing this morning, so if I look really puffy and if I'm like sniffing, it's because for whatever reason, I have allergies, and I don't ever have allergies, so I don't know what's up with that dog. It's a very gloomy, overcast day. We've had a lot of these in South Georgia lately. I feel like for the last 5 days, it's just been nothing but rain, flooding, and just gray skies. I have plans to visit my grandmother today. She is in a skilled nursing facility in a few towns over. It's about an hour drive, so I want to go see her probably this afternoon, and then I want to just kind of briefly look over the one class where I have access to some of the modules. I'll talk a little bit more about classes later. If that's something you're interested in, I'll have timestamps all linked down below, so you can bebop through. This is gonna be a big vlog. It's gonna be an entire week. Those are the 3 main things. I definitely have to go grocery shopping today. We have 0 groceries. I have a little bit of another vlog I am trying to finish. By the time you're seeing this one, that vlog should already be posted. I'll leave it linked down below if you haven't seen that one vlog. Those are the plans for today. Just hoping for it to be more of a slower day. I hope you enjoy the vlog. Have 2 books that I haven't quite decided between which one I want to read for this vlog. I think we're probably just gonna dive into one of them, like literally just gonna pick one. But the 2 books that I am reading this week, and I hope I'll be able to finish them for this video, that would be the dream. But in full transparency, I don't typically start and finish 2 books in 1 week. I am a very slow reader. I do a mixture of both reading like physically and then audiobook, and then doing them at the same time. My cat is in his litter box, so if you hear scraping, it's his beautiful sweet soul. The book that I started yesterday, I had a little bit of downtime at work, so I was able to read I think about 25 pages of Never Lie by Frida McFadden. Now, Frida McFadden and I have a love-hate relationship. I read The Teacher and really loved it. I read The Boyfriend and hated it, so it's been hot and cold with her. So far, I am 5 chapters in, and it's about 36 pages in, and I like it. It's okay. I'm digging it. I think I'm learning that I like Frida McFadden's work more when I am listening to the audiobook and not necessarily reading the words themselves. Another book that I have been dying to read that I keep putting off because that's just who I am is Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. I had full plans to try to finish this book today and tomorrow, or maybe a little bit later in the week. Because I started this one, I feel like I need to stick with it because I am enjoying it. And I don't want like the creepy vibes and like what's all going on in here. I don't want to forget that. So I think what I'll do is I'll read a few chapters of this, see if I'm still digging it, if I'm still into it, loving it, on all that fun stuff. And even if I am, I might take a break and read a little bit of Sunrise on the Reaping. These are the two books that I have planned to read this week. And look, you can see that I was reading this at work because this is a sticky note. But I'm going to replace it with a sticker because this is more fun than looking at a sticky note and giving me anxiety about work. Have spent the last few hours reading Sunrise on the Reaping. I have read about 103 pages, which is I think the first 7 chapters. First 25% if you are going off of what the audiobook tells me. I feel like I made really good progress with that. It's not quite noon, but I want to check my online classes to see if the 2 other classes have opened up yet, so I can look at the syllabus. I like to write if there are like deadlines and when projects are due and things like that in my planner. And as you can see, I have a little sticky note here. You might be able to see. The sticky note here is for the one class that is already open. I don't normally use the sticky notes for schoolwork. I usually have a little notebook with the to-do list each week and each day. I was looking over this at work during my lunch break and all I had was a sticky note. Once I pull up my classes, I want to talk a little bit about my schooling with you guys in case you're curious. This is my 4th semester and I'm starting year 2 is I think what you would call it in the spring of 2026. Hopefully, fingers crossed, I will be graduating with my master's degree. And my master's degree is in public health and it's a concentration in bioinformatics. This is really my first semester taking classes that are not core. Oh, one of the classes is open. Sweet. Okay, so 2 out of the 3 classes are open now. I think I'm going to spend a little bit of time going through that. I have my pencil. I write all of the deadlines in pencil because things happen. Sometimes deadlines are adjusted just a little bit. It's easier to just erase it versus writing it in pen than like scratching it out because scratching it out bothers me. Terrific. Okay, so the class that was opened over this past weekend is a health data analytics course. The other class that I'm taking is geographic information systems and public health data visualization for evidence-based practice. I think that's all I wanted for this update. I don't plan on having a writing update today. And then around 1, I will mosey to go visit my grandmother, and then on the way back I'll probably just run to the store and grab a few things. I'll probably just do that in my hometown instead of coming all the way back here to then go to the grocery store. I think it just makes sense to do it all in my hometown. Okay, we might be postponing a few things until tomorrow. You cannot tell, and honestly, it looks like it's bright and sunny outside. It's not. It is pouring with rain. I get really anxious driving in the rain. Can you hear it? It was thundering just a few moments ago. I might hold off and go visit my grandmother tomorrow and just do what I was gonna do today, tomorrow, and then what I was going to do tomorrow, do today. Because I think I was mainly just going to do a little bit of cleaning around the house tomorrow. I might just read all day. I'm also doing a little bit of video editing right now. So I went through and I looked at all of my classes, did a little bit of reviewing for the one class that was open today, and I wrote all that out. I think this is going to be a great last full course semester. I might just finish doing all of the editing for this video while it's downpouring outside, and then see where I'm at time, where the weather is. I haven't had lunch yet and it's about 12:30. I have finished editing, doing that first rough cut of that one video that I said I wanted to finish. It's sitting at about 33 minutes, which is kind of a long video, but I think it'll be okay for like what the content is. It has stopped raining here. I heard it's kind of raining in that same area where my grandmother's at, but we're still gonna go visit her because that was the original plan for today, and then I will go get the groceries afterwards. But I'm gonna make a quick lunch. I think I'm probably not gonna do the whole okra thing. I think I'm gonna save that for tomorrow. I think I might just have a can of soup because it is getting a little late. It's a little past 1:30. I do want to make sure that I get home at a reasonable time. I'll try and find some food here. If not, I might just go get something, even though I don't like getting food out because it's expensive as hell, but I might just have to do that. So yeah, so that's the game plan. Okay, the lighting is still not great in this angle, but we're gonna be okay. I did end up finding some lunch. I am going to heat up. I guess my fiance had made noodles over the weekend while I was working, and there are some leftovers. So I'm gonna heat up these noodles. Not very nutritious, if at all. I went ahead and changed. Yes, I am wearing blue on blue, but mind your business. I'm going to a nursing home and a grocery store. I'm probably gonna be the best dressed person there. That's all I pretty much have. I'm gonna sit on the couch and make the grocery list while I eat lunch. I am looking nice and funky fresh, aren't I? I am back now. This is probably going to be my last update for today because it's about 5:30. My fiance comes home within the hour. I am going to be making Mary made chickpeas for supper, and I'm probably gonna do some rice. I'll leave the recipe that I use linked down below if you're curious. Good morning, happy Tuesday. So my hair's wet. I know I look like a wet rat, but we won't be here very long. What are we gonna be doing on this Tuesday? I am currently drinking my water. I have my tea steeping. We're already off to a great start. I went to the grocery store yesterday and I got cereal. I love Cheerios, but I wanted to mix it up a little bit. So I got, I don't know what it's called. It's like Grand something. Hang on, let me go grab it. Great Grains. See, I knew it started with a G. It's been a while since I've had this brand. I know I said this yesterday about it being more of a slower day, and it was kind of like a catch-up day. I think I said that for yesterday. And today is going to be even slower. The only time I have to leave the house today is I am getting ice cream with a friend later tonight around like 7. So that is the only time I'm gonna be leaving today, and I'm really excited to be staying home all day long. The game plan for today is to read. I need to finish editing that vlog. I would like to get the whole vlog completely finished, and I never took a picture for the thumbnail, so I need to probably work that out. Maybe just take a few pictures for the thumbnail. This is not on here, but I need to get back into the habit of posting on Instagram because I miss it. And a huge reason as to why I haven't been going on Instagram or posting is because of Sunrise on the Reaping, and I'm so afraid to get spoiled for that book. I've already been spoiled for a few things. There are things that I'm not shocked or not like knocking my socks off. I need to get back on to Instagram and post regularly, even if my regular schedule is like once a week, once every 2 weeks or something like that. I really fell off the wagon with Instagram, and I love posting on Instagram. It's so fun. That's not on here, but that is a goal of mine. I am not going to be doing any schoolwork today. I figured I'm going to be doing schoolwork for the next few months, so let's just take one more day off before it's go time. We need to, I say we, like you're gonna help me. I need to clean the house a little bit, just kind of straighten it up. Everything out here is pretty good, but the bathroom desperately needs to be cleaned. You don't need to watch me do that, but I'm going to be doing that. And then hopefully I can read a little bit more or listen to the audiobook Never Lie by Frida McFadden. Never got a chance to read that yesterday, which I'm not complaining. I think the game plan for this morning is to eat some breakfast. I think I'm going to, while I'm eating breakfast, I'm going to work on editing that video, get as far as I can within the next hour or so, and then I'm going to sit down and read Sunrise on the Reaping for a few hours. But at some point this afternoon, I want to block off about an hour of time to write, to actually write, like physically sit down, put my eyeballs on the screen and do nothing but creative writing for about an hour. And then I will talk a lot more about my writing and the project and everything when we get there. I did everything on my list yesterday. The only thing I didn't do was go for a walk. Hopefully I can do that today. Yesterday I could have done it in the afternoon because I forgot that my fiance was going to go golfing after work, so I could have gone for a walk. But at that point I was like, you know what, I'm cozy in the house. I don't want to go back out. And yeah, that's an excuse because I totally could have gone back out and did a little bit of walking. So we'll try and do that today. If not going for a walk, I want to just sit on my yoga mat in here for 20-30 minutes and just stretch and do some yoga poses because I'm so stiff. So it's been a few weeks since I have worked out because I've been not really feeling really well. I just wanted to take a break from exercising and moving my body, but I can feel it. I can feel, you know, I feel like the Tin Man on The Wizard of Oz. So I need to move my body a little bit, get my heart rate up. So that's the game plan for today. Let me go ahead and grab my tea because it's been steeping for a few minutes. We're going to enjoy our Tuesday. All right, so it is lunchtime now. I just finished heating up my leftovers. So last night I said that I had made the Marry Me chickpeas, and so I am reheating some of that for lunch. I've read about 80 pages of Sunrise on the Reaping. I want to try to get to about 100 pages. It's about 12:15 now, so I think I'm going to read for another like 40-45 minutes, eat lunch at the same time, and then move on and do some other things today. So wanted to come in here and give that quick little update. You can hear like tumbling sounds. I'm also doing laundry. So today is more of a cleaning, relaxing type of day. Okay, so it's time to do a little bit of cleaning, and I am going to start another audiobook. I know I could listen to Never Lie by Frida McFadden. I know I can also listen to Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. But I am really enjoying my tandem reading with both of those two books, and I don't want to mess myself up. So I am going to start another audiobook. It's a pretty short audiobook. It's 6 hours long if you listen to it at one speed. I usually listen to my audiobooks at 1.5 or 1.75. I'll be able to finish it a little bit quicker. Will I be able to finish it today? I find that very unlikely. But the one that I'm going to be reading is I Who Have Never Known Men by Jacqueline Hartman. I have no idea what this book is about other than it's a dystopian. It seemed really cool. I liked the cover of it. You can kind of see, sorry, there we go. You can kind of see. I am gonna just dive on into it. If I don't like it, I'll pick something else, but it was available on Libby to listen to now, and I'm gonna listen to it now. Depending on how I feel, I'll either clean the bathroom now or I'll go into my office after I do a little bit of cleaning, like clean the kitchen, fold some laundry. I'll either continue cleaning and clean the bathroom, or go into my office and finish editing the one YouTube video, or do my hour-long writing session. I did not mean to abandon you guys there for a little while. That's a little dramatic. I didn't really. I mean, for you, it's been 10 seconds, but a lot just happened in these last couple of hours. So I was cleaning the bathroom. I got an email from my university. Long story short, I applied to this graduate assistantship role and I got accepted. I didn't know that that was the process of how it went. So last week, one of the professors in the program had reached out to the students in my class and were like, hey, if anybody's interested, we are doing a graduate assistantship role for anyone who wants to do hands-on research, wants to do more with applied informatics. So of course I was interested, and it would be a part-time job doing about 20 hours a week. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, I want to know more. So I reached out to the professor and I was like, hey, I have a few questions about this regarding your email. And he was like, okay, thanks. And he never responded to like my questions. He just attached me to an email with a couple of other students who I'm assuming were also interested. Him and one of the other professors shared a link for us to submit our applications, which included our resume and a cover letter, which I've never done a cover letter. That's literally the first time I've ever done one, ever. I had assumed that it was going to be treated like a regular job, you know, where you submit your applications because you're interested in the position. They reach out, you're interviewed, you ask questions, they ask questions about you, and you learn a little bit more about the role, everything that like it entails. When I got the email saying, hey, you've been accepted into this role, here's your pay, this is what's gonna be submitted. It didn't say what the job was, but it said just make sure you do your job well. Click this link to accept. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute. I got instantly sweaty. As you can see, I changed my outfit. I was like, what? Whoa, wait a minute. I still have questions. I can't accept a position if I don't know what I'm going to be doing, you know, or if it's going to be on campus, which that's not happening. So I'm like, I need a little bit more information before I accept this. All of that to say is that's exciting news about getting accepted into this graduate assistantship position. However, I need more information before I accept it. So I spent the last hour. Was it an hour? That might be a little dramatic. No, it was probably an hour. Yeah, because I got the email around 2:30, but then probably like around 3:30, 3:15, 3:30 is when my phone had notified me that I got the email. And then I spent the last hour freaking out about it. Good thing I was finished cleaning the bathroom, because I just would have abandoned that because I was like, whoa, what's going on? Who am I? What is my life right now? So I've spent the last hour trying to figure that out. I typed up a 5-paragraph email wanting to know specifics, but I don't want to be penalized, you know, because I was reading where it was like, if you accept the position and you realize you can't do it, you have 2 weeks to cancel. I haven't accepted the position yet, and it's only been an hour, 2 hours now at this point. Moving on from talking about school, I did end up reading, as you could see, I put it in here. So I did read a good bit more of Sunrise on the Reaping. I am at 57% of the way through page 232 and starting chapter 17. So I made a lot of progress on this book. Have not read anything of Never Lie by Frida McFadden. I did end up listening to 45% of I Who Have Never Known Men. We're doing pretty good. We're doing the things. I feel like I lost an hour and now my mind is fixated on that graduate assistantship thing. Now I don't know what to do. So let's circle back. We're gonna find our way back to society, figure out what I need to do. Oh, it was my writing session. Oh my God. So I have not had a chance to do my writing session, and I think I want to do that. I think it'll be a great little escape from what all has just happened, all the chaos. I know this wasn't listed here, but I know I had mentioned it at the beginning of today, and honestly, I don't think I'm going to have enough time to do it. I wanted to do a little bit for Instagram, take some pictures, take that thumbnail. I'm not gonna have a chance to do any of that. I think I said this earlier, but I did end up editing that video. I didn't totally finish editing it. I'm about maybe a third of the way through. I'm gonna have to work on that on Friday because I work for the next 2 days. I think I'm going to sit and write for a little while. In my next update, I'll actually talk about my writing because I had promised I was going to talk about that at some point today, and I have yet to talk about writing. Oh my gosh. That was so refreshing. I don't know if I can actually describe how much I loved this writing session. I loved this a lot. I miss it. So I have worked on some more plot development. I talked about in one of my other videos, the one that I've been referencing. In that one, I talk about using my Excel sheet for the beat sheet for which goes along with Save the Cat Writes a Novel. I have that pulled up over here, and I've been filling it in and doing 1 or 2 lines for whatever that main plot is of this project. And I'm currently working on Project Ice, which is my high fantasy adventure novel. It's like Game of Thrones, but it's not like Game of Thrones. It's like Game of Thrones in the way of you get a lot of different POVs, you have dragons. People are kind of fighting over the throne, but there will be some gore and that in this. It's not gonna be like Game of Thrones in the sexual content and the really weird things like that kind of way. I have been working on that main plot. I am happy to report that this writing session I feel went very well. I definitely miss creative writing. I wish I would have more time to work on, creative projects like this, but it is what it is, and I feel like I did a job well done. I think that's pretty much it for this writing session. I worked a little bit more on character development. So one of the themes in my story is good versus evil, so I've been working on the good and the evil parts of this. I'm enjoying it. I am really proud of what I have worked on. Oh, and let me clarify. I think in either this video or maybe another video, I said that the last time I worked on this project was in April, and it was actually March 15th for this project. One of the other projects I guess I had worked on, honestly, I don't even remember working on it. I think I just opened a project and read the line, and then that was that. I read a chapter of one of my other 2 projects. That doesn't really count as writing. With this project, it being my high fantasy, I forgot that I had changed the name of Project Ice. I mean, we're still gonna be calling it Project Ice, but I forgot that I had changed the official title of the project, and I forgot how much I really loved it. One other thing that I'm working on with this project, with that main plot, I am trying to figure out who the POVs are. Obviously there's going to be some subplots in there too, but I think that some of those subplots, it will depend on who's telling the story and what those subplots are for how to stagger those subplots. I think the subplots are going to come later, because right now I'm just focusing on the main plot, what we're actually working on here. And this story has changed so much from what it originally was a few years ago when I know I was originally talking about this project, and it has morphed into something quite something, which is why I'm why do I still even call this Project Ice? But there are still some snowy elements in this story. Our main character is from the north part of this world, her realm is from the north, so it still makes sense that it's Project Ice. So I think when I was originally writing this story, I only had the one realm, the one kingdom in this story, and then now that I'm going back and I'm reworking it, I'm expanding on the world. It's become a lot larger of a project, but I'm not too worried yet. I'm not overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed, but not with the story. And I think I'll be okay. I think we're gonna be all right with where the story's going, because it aligns a lot more with the plans that I have, and it kind of combines a couple of other ideas that I've had. When you just think of random story ideas and you're like, how can I write a story about that? And you're like, I don't feel like this idea is main plot material. It's more of subplot, this, what story could the subplot go in? I think with this story, it allows me to expand on some of those other story ideas that I've had over the last couple of years. And it's not like they needed to be completely new stories. This was a success, and I had a lot of fun with this writing session. I have an old playlist for Project Ice, and I'll leave it linked down below if you're curious. It's just fantasy music. I listened to one of the 3-hour videos, and it's one of my favorite ones with just really cool fantasy music. That is going to conclude the writing for today. I do want to write a little bit more later this week. I mean, I work tomorrow and Thursday, so obviously there's not going to be much of anything done for the next few days. I had a lot of fun with this, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this little writing update. I know I have a few more things to do this evening. I talked about gonna go catch my friend for some ice cream, and we're gonna chat and just, you know, be old pals, and I'm really excited that I get to see her today. We pushed the time back a little bit for some reasons. That doesn't mean I can't keep doing all the things. So I got my afternoon writing session in, which I'm excited about. When I was on my student portal figuring out like my professor and all that stuff, that is still not worked out. I saw that the third class is now open too. I know I said at the beginning of today that I was going to let today be smooth sailing. We're not going to think about school, but who am I kidding? I was thinking about it anyways. I think I'm going to log back into my student portal and just go over that course schedule and go ahead and put that in my handy dandy planner. Happy Friday. I want to give you guys an update. It's only like 7:45 in the morning. I've not even washed my face, but I have quite a bit of work to do, like schoolwork, some other things. So today I think is going to be a really heavy schoolwork day, catching up and doing some other things. We can talk about all of that a little bit later, but I wanted to say hello. I survived I did work 3 days this week, but I survived my last 2 work days, which yay. We always love when it's a victory. So right now, I'm just going to wake up. I have my tea steeping. I usually have tea on my days off in the morning, and it's just the best ever. I love the English breakfast. That is what I will be drinking this morning. My cat is running around all crazy. Usually when I'm home, and my fiance is home, and he's not home alone, he gets really, really excited. So he is running everywhere. Here, let me show you. He's not running right now. He loves the cracked window. I have a stress pimple on my nose, and the footage makes it look way more bright red than it actually is. So I'm gonna stop talking now. I'll probably see you when I look a little bit more put together, but that is what I have going on today. It's gonna be a busy day. So hi, this week kind of turned a little chaotic. I will do better in the next vlog. So I feel like I kind of abandoned you guys there for a couple of weeks because it has been a couple of weeks since my last clip. So I want to just kind of talk about the week, just wrap up the video. What all did I do in the writing world? Let's talk about writing first. In this vlog, I did a lot of really productive writing. I had a lot of fun with writing. If you guys saw my most recent update with writing, you know that this year, within the last year, it's been really kind of touch and go with writing. Not necessarily the writing's fault or my fault, but just life things, and I haven't been really able to dedicate a lot of time to writing and to really be submerged in my creativity. So I feel like in this week, I spent a lot of time connecting with that creative side of myself myself, and I was really grateful for it. I could tell a difference in like me, in my person, but even just working on my project a little bit meant a lot to me. While I didn't make a lot of progress in the story, hitting super big milestones or anything like that, it was exciting to get back into the world and to work a little bit more consistently on the story. Now, I will say, since I finished this week, and I know I'm coming a couple of weeks later to wrap it up, the writing has been a little bit more consistent. Is it like everyday writing, cranking out stuff? Absolutely not. It's starting to become a little bit more part of my normal schedule every week, so that's exciting. I have this vlog and this week to really thank for that. Life has been really refreshing ever since I have been able to take some time to work on my writing. I think that this world has a lot of potential, a lot of work. I still have a lot of work to do with this story. Like I said, I've been working on the plot and the characters of this story, reworking and getting like the second draft ready to sit down and to work on it, to write. Been taking my time going through what I have of draft 1. In this video, I didn't finish Act 1, but in the 2 weeks since this update, I have finished Act 1, which I will talk about a little bit more in my next video, which I will start today, so I'll be wearing the same clothes. I spent a lot of time working on using Save the Cat Writes a Novel and working on doing an Excel sheet with all of the beats. And I've been mostly just focusing on that main plot. And while I know that there are a few subplots that I've been working on, and there are like a couple more that I need to like slowly like introduce into the story, I think I'm going to wait until I get a little bit more outline before I try to like make the connections with some of those subplots. Even though I did not write, 10,000 words or anything like that. Slow and steady right now is winning the race. Let's do a quick little recap for my reading goals. I did not finish any of the books this week in the vlog, unfortunately. However, 2 weeks later, I have since finished those books. I won't give like big, deep reviews or anything, but for Never Lie by Frida McFadden, it was a 5-star read. I really loved this. I liked the twists and turns. I thought, even though the writing is kind of hit or miss with me, sometimes it feels a little silly, sometimes it feels a little like juvenile. Overall, I enjoyed the story. There was a twist at the end that I really, really liked. What I loved in the first book that I read by this author, so it had like that same similar twist that I loved, that I enjoy, that I just eat up in thrillers. So that final twist at the end really like cemented it for me. I had a lot of fun with it. I Have Never Known Men by Jacqueline Harpman. I didn't write the author's name down, but I think it's Jacqueline Harpman. This was also a 5-star read. I was not expecting to love this as much as I did. I went into it not really knowing what to expect. I think the narration of this book is amazing. It's like the perfect way that this story could have been executed. I loved it so much. Oh my gosh, I think I will reread it one day because I think it is literally a masterpiece. Speaking of masterpiece, the last book that I read for this vlog that I did not finish is Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. This was also a 5-star read. It was a great reading week and a half. This book, 5-star read, absolutely loved it. It was Hamish's story. There were a few things I want to say I was a little disappointed in. There are going to be no spoilers. While I love cameos, I love, callbacks to other characters, I was kind of expecting to meet a few new characters, like maybe new people that we hadn't seen in Katniss's world and that we hadn't met in Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes Following Snow. I was kind of expecting to maybe see other victors and people that we don't know, and then it kind of could add a little bit more mystery to the Hunger Games, to Panem, to the world. And it's okay that we didn't get it. That was a little disappointing because I do love when we're introduced to new characters and we can fall in love with new characters, even though I feel like when we explored some of the characters that we have met over the other series, I think that it is still a very interesting, tragic, and brilliant execution of what we already know about the Hunger Games, about the world of Panem, and about Snow. I think it's something that people should read, and hopefully you enjoy it too. Last thing, and then we will depart for the evening, and I will see you guys in a month with the next video. When I found out that the assistantship was research that I was going to get to choose, and I have chosen a few topics, don't exactly know how that is going to go because it starts now and then it goes until May of 2026. So I'll have 7 or 8 months to develop whatever research we're going to be working on, and I don't know if it's going to be, for 3 or 4 months we're going to work on this research topic, and then in the other half of the year we're going to spend doing research on something else, or we're gonna have 3 or 4 different topics all at once. I don't really know how it's going to work, but nonetheless, I am super excited about it. I'm very, very happy to be given this opportunity to get into research because that's really what I want to do. Like, I love research. I can talk about research and I can do it forever. Like I don't know, I just love learning. I love researching. I love science, and I think it's also very important. I am so happy for the opportunity, and I wanted to share that with you guys too. All of that to say, this is the end of the video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. This last little update turned into a little bit more of a ramble, so sorry about that, but thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to see you guys next time in next month's video, which is going to be more of a writing specific video, so I'm very excited for it, and I will see you then. Bye.